Hey, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm with a brother, a very close friend of mine, and a man of God who has a calling, Prophet B T Chikomo of Bright Light
Prophetic Deliverance Ministry.
Prophetic Deliverance Ministry. And we always want to find out about people in different sectors and why exactly they are doing what they are doing. We've had business people, we've had singers, and today we've got a man of God who is running a very successful ministry. And it's not easy for him to be where he is today. Prophet, how are you?
I'm fine, and you, Mr. Munengwa? I know when you are doing something, there are so many challenges.
True.
But whatever you do, you must understand and realize that it's a calling.
Mm.
Whether you're a builder, whether you're a teacher, whether you whoever, that's the calling. Sometimes you try to do something and then it won't work out.
Yeah.
But you may have to discover your calling so that you have to recover things. It's about discovering and recovering, because you cannot recover anything that you have never discovered.
Wow.
So what I have discovered is this: I did some lot of things. I did electrical engineering in my life. It was a profession.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of courses, and it was just like a profession. But God had a calling in my life, which I realized when I was young, but I didn't know and which direction should I take. But it took me to learn from other men of God who started before me. I followed so many men of God, whether reading their books, watching their channels. Some of them I met them one-on-one to see them, and they encouraged me. But the biggest thing that they've told me in life, that you need to be focused. Such things, you face them, you face resistance, you face setbacks, you face anything, but do not give up.
Wow.
Do not give in, and do not bow down. You still have to go your direction. Especially God has to direct you and to be there. I faced so many challenges when I was growing up, because my mother and father were separated. So I grew up with my mother. It was very big challenge that the mother was the one who was paying our fees, the one who was looking after us. But later on we realized that it was God's arrangement, who arranged the search so that we learn things from the bottom line.
Wow.
We don't just become big, but we came somewhere. We know how to sleep without eating food. We know that life that God has brought us from. But now we are here giving God the glory that He can change anybody. He can change us from nothing to something.
Wow.
So my words of encouragement to anybody in life, that what you are doing is a calling from God. So you don't not lose that calling, but it takes you to need a mentor or a teacher or somebody you learn from.
Wow.
But the person who mentors you or teaches you, he does not have monopoly to rule over you. You have to listen from your heart. Wow. I've got a spiritual father. I believe in spiritual father. I believe in mentorship. I believe in one. But what I must believe much is Jesus Christ. And my heart speaks. My heart tells me which way to take. That will not make anyone a God in our life, but will make some people to become teachers in our life. It's very important. And I took my time to learn, even from small things, very small things. But I'm still building up. And I believe one day I'm still going to give the biggest testimony than this.
Wow.
Where I am, I know I'm very young, on my 30s, but I saw the hand of God in my life. God is prevailing despite the way I grew up.
Yeah.
But in the prophetic is a very questionable profile.
Yeah.
People, they want to know where you're coming from, how you become a prophet, and what is a prophet. A prophet is a man who is sent. The only thing that is confusing a lot of people there is whereby the prophets have come to be more popular these days. But in the Bible, you find Jesus Christ was more than a prophet. He was a prophet as well. Because there are fivefold ministries. These are offices. And then you must know how to be. If God elects you into the office, you cannot elect yourself to be in the office. Yeah. But you need to know that the dominant gift that God has given you, that He aligns you with the title. And sometimes what matters more is not the title being a prophet, but what matters much is the word of God in us. Wow. It has to produce fruits. It has to bring us. It has to bring us to salvation. That's a very much important thing about this.
I just want to add something. You know, there are a lot of people out there. We were speaking earlier, especially about being criticized. A lot of people, you know, being young and wanting to pursue your career. I even remember when I started business, a lot of people looked down upon me. They told me it can't be done. They told me, no, you're too young. And for you being a man of God, I know, especially growing up in the churches that you were in, there are a lot of people, like you were saying, who wanted to pull you down so that you don't reach your full potential. And there are many people who are going to watch this video who are going to actually have transformation in their mind. Because the more they hear about people's stories, about how where you are today, having a very large congregation, being a young man of God, healing people, delivering people, and God using you to do so many things. But people don't understand the down times. They see you today and they think, wow, it was easy. Look at him now. He's flourishing. He's got a big ministry. But I want you to share light on especially those times and what was happening in your mind.
Because when it triggers in me that I recalling, I was around 16. Though the events started at 13 and all that, but at 16 it was much now pressure. When I was hearing the voice of God, it was like, do it now. So when I wanted to do it now, I make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. I was like, if I sit with a person just say for 2 minutes, I want to share what I heard from God. So a lot of people getting frustrated about that. To become even other mature people, which I thought they should nurture me, they become frustrated about what I was sharing with them because it was burning inside me. So I was just thinking, I had just thought that if you hear the voice that is telling you, go and speak to my people who are lost, I was hearing like I must go that day. So I wanted to go. Sometimes I was finding myself preaching on the bus stop, even in the bus, even in a combi. So the report was taken to my church, which is a good church, which you nurtured me with great men of God who also become a mentor as well, Apostle Ezekiel God. But what is happening underground is it become a lot of competition because being young and being gifted, looking a person in eyes and get healed, just it was amazing. And people, even myself, it was shocking me. Even I say, are you healed? And say the person is yes. And then now become those who are on protocol. They wouldn't want me to be raised. They didn't want my name to go on top. So even they write a report, they will not write a report about you. They write a report about somebody else or something else. So trying to pull you down. Number one, disadvantage will be like this. You'll be poor. The other disadvantage will be this. You're not popular. The other disadvantage will be this. Your background. Sometimes you are not educated enough for their standard because you wanted to be taken to a Bible school to learn theology. But the things of God sometimes it differs because God called you whether you are learned or you are not. Because even Peter and John, the Bible says they were not even educated, but it was amazing how they would be mightily used. So these things they started to happen. But I'm seeing the fruits of such a people I have reached out. Some I met them when they were young. They were even grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. But if I look at them now, they are now great men of God, they are great women of God. They are even giving bigger testimonies. I'm even amazed to see how they're growing. And I was encouraged by that time because I started to sponsor my ministry or the ministry which God given me of reaching out to the lost. When I was starting to work as an electrician. So the little I got, I was supporting the work of God. I was organizing crusades. I was organizing events. So that was amazing because I was not going to fork out from the church's pockets for my events. So it became an advantage. If they wanted to stop me, they couldn't stop me because I was unstoppable. Wow. So do not be dependable. Just be independent in your mind. So in my mindset, I was independent because I was saying I was doing this for God. So it was just a procedure and a protocol, just to inform them, not to asking them to do this, but informing them. I'm going to do this because I have the resources for it. So they were coming as spectators to see if we can make it. But I was not managing myself, but God was managing me. Wow. And they were seeing wonders. I remember my first turn up, I had to make sure more than 30 people were baptized, and that was a shock. But then I was 16 years of age. Wow. So the senior pastor had to ask who organized this and who brought these people. Even the elders wanted to hide out. But later on, they could not hide me. Let me tell you, a proper gift cannot be hidden. A proper profession cannot be hidden. Just stick to the principles, to the basics. So later on, I would be called to the office. I thought maybe special or the under discipline or all that. But the pastor told me, "You are my son. Do the work of God. I know what you are facing." He was even knowing what I was facing. I didn't know that, so I felt encouraged. But later on, there was a letter for me to go for Bible school, but they could not want it to go through. Especially those who are close to me, those who wanted me to shut my mouth, those who wanted to stop me, they couldn't want me to go. But that didn't stop me. I prayed to God. Then the other door opened for me in South Africa, and then another bishop just picked me from the congregation and started to take me to studies, and I learned my Bible study, and said what nurtured me, mentored me, until I came back in Zimbabwe, and then the ministry started. But I didn't just start the ministry as Brighter Prophetic Deliverance Ministry. I went under somebody where I submitted to learn other things and to see. And I was open to say, I'm coming here, not forever, but I'm coming here to learn. So they accepted me not as a person who is coming to snatch congregants like what I'm seeing others when they under somebody, they selling under somebody, you can hear them tomorrow. He started. He just took the whole church. No, but myself was open with my mind. I said, no, I want to learn some things here, but I'm not here forever. And then when my time comes, I will tell you I want to go. If you hear my time, you can still release me. So as I released them in 2014, I was selling Mount Darwin in very, very remote area, in a rural area. Why I choose those places? Because there was this hearing, there was this speculation of, oh, prophet, they start in town because they're after money. So I wanted to go against it, because I was not starting because of money. I was starting because of the calling. So I pursued my calling in there until God picked me again from that area to Harare, where I am today.
Wow.
These events were unfolding when I saw journalists from other media groups. They visited my church when they heard the miracles and the signs and the wonders which were happening in the city. Then they just came and sit down like other people who have visited. And then I didn't know. Later on, I find myself in the newspaper. The prophet has caused this tear, has caused this and caused this. I didn't call them, but they came to me. And then I was shocked and whatever. So a lot of people started to call me. And, why can't you be in Harare, a central place? Some were calling from Botswana, South Africa. If we come to Zimbabwe, we want to be in a central place where we will see you. And then when I came and resettled in Harare, but I wanted to be in remote. If you see our crusades, if you follow my crusades, most of my crusades, I'm not dominating in towns. I'm much in those areas which are neglected.
Wow.
Where I see real problems, real people suffering, where I'm seeing real sickness and diseases, where I'm facing real problems, then that's where I'm reaching out. I was in Karoi, now I'm going to Binga, I'm going to Vic Falls, I'm going to, I was in Gokwe as well. Wow. These places, you will never hear of anybody being in Binga. That is my big challenge when I'm coming. I'm going to Binga in April. So I thank God that He is taking me further.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been such an insightful time with the prophet. I've learned a lot of things. There's power in mentorship. You have to sit under certain people for you to learn, especially more about the thing that drives you and that thing God ordained you to do. He was a man of God. He went to sit under a lot of people. He read a lot of books about, mentorship isn't one-on-one. Mentorship can be through a book. Mentorship could be through watching somebody. And also he went and served under a church and left well. The other thing I learned about him, he's somebody who was very passionate. One thing about your purpose and your calling, if you're after money, that's not God's real desire in our lives. You need to want to serve other people. And with him, that's why he's talking about going to the remote places. When you love something so much, it's not about the money you get out of, but it's about the satisfaction that comes with you fulfilling his purpose. And you'll hear that at a very young age, he used to see things prophetically. He was telling me he used to pray for his mother and he was shocked that she would be healed at a young age. And those are the signs and symptoms that God shows you about what you're supposed to do. So it's important that we learn a lot from every single person who comes in our life. And today we were with the prophet, and he was just telling us a lot of things. I'm sure if you watch this video again, you're going to catch a lot of things about him. He's passionate about what he does. He's got a ministry which is bubbling. He's highly used by God, and he's a very humble, down-to-earth person. And prophet, just your last words to encourage people all over the world who are going to watch this. There are people who do not know their purpose. There are people who, don't believe in the word of God. There are people who are just going through so much. What last words of encouragement do you have to somebody out there?
Okay. You need to understand the plan of God in you. So God has a plan already, but do not get out of his plan. You will suffer. You will see most of the people all over the world, they are chasing miracles, which is a second-hand thing. It's secondary. The first thing that you have to keep is his promise. If you have the promise, in the promise there's a blessing. So that blessing need to be nurtured and looked after. But if all these have escaped from you and all these have run away from you, you will become a miracle hunter. You become hunting miracles, looking for miracles. But keep a blessing, keep the promise, keep that plan that God has set you in, and know your calling is very important, no matter what age you are. I remember one man who became a doctor at his 77 year. He went to do his doctorate when he was 70. So it's never too late, no matter the age. You have to start somewhere, and you have to start from zero. Even if you want to call any number, even an international number, even a local number, it starts with a zero. So even your money is you have to start from zero. Even your business, it has to start from zero. But you have the plan. Something just for you to think about. Let me tell you, if we are going to deliver people, if you are going to pray for people, the most biggest thing that we need to be delivered from is not the devil, it's not demons, but it's our mindset. Where we set our mindset, that's where we need deliverance. There were many people we prayed for and they're falling down under the anointing, but they wake up the same. So if you are delivered in the mindset, if you fall down under the power, when you wake up, you become a new person. Wow. That's my word for you. Wow. May the Lord bless you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that was an awesome time with Prophet B T Chikomo. Have an awesome, amazing day. May God bless you. And remember, Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. God bless you. We'll see you soon.